There's a lot of gambles when it comes to horses. We're always wanting that horse, especially if we spend a lot of money on it, to work out. But probably the biggest gamble ever made in the horse world, specifically Western horses, has to be one that was made in the late 40s. And I don't know if it was more money than sense, but if the gamble hadn't been made and hadn't paid off, one of the most prolific lines of Western horse would have never come about. This is Leo. Leo would be born in 1940, the same year the American Quarter Horse Association would organize. Very little is known about his early years, other than he was bred by John Wesley House near Cameron, Texas, and that he was by Joe Reed too, who was by Joe Reed, and Little Fanny, his dam, was also by Joe Reed. We know as a 2-year-old, Leo would be sold to John W. Tillman of Pawhuska, Oklahoma, for the sum of $750. Tillman is said to have put Leo on the racetrack, though we have very little evidence to know how good of a racehorse Leo was. It is said that he won 20 of 22 starts, but the only thing that we have to go on are some small-town newspaper news clippings, and we have no idea where the reporters got that information. Tillman would eventually sell Leo, which also doesn't lead too much credence to him being prolific on the racetrack. But in 1946, tragedy would strike Leo in a form that we all are concerned about. As Leo was being transported in a horse trailer, the driver was in an accident. Leo would nearly have both hind legs severed. And we know a year after the accident that Leo was still suffering from the injury, because that's where Bud Warren comes into the picture. In 1947, Bud Warren would buy the lame Leo for $2,500. Leo at that time had a busted knee and a stifle injury that constantly reared its ugly head. In fact, Warren made an offer on the horse not knowing the owner had been trying to sell him for months. And Warren, in his own words, said that he was the biggest chump in Oklahoma, so he mailed the check. And if Warren hadn't took that risk, buying a sight-unseen horse that was crippled, we would have never had Jet Threat, Pepe San, Mr. San Pepe. 24 AQHA champions come from Leo. And in 1969, Leo's knee would start giving him problems again. And at the age of 27, he'd be euthanized. And in 1989, both Leo and Bud Warren would be in the American Quarter Horse Hall of Fame.